Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to discuss the next question of our agriculture optional answer writing practice series. And the question for today is, what are the trends of food productivity in India, and give your opinion for sustainable food production system which can address food and nutritional security in India. So this is the question, and this question was asked in this year's agriculture optional paper of UPSC Civil Services Examination, that is in 2025. So let's see how we can approach the answer. So you can divide the answer into two parts. In the first part, we have to discuss the trends of food productivity in India, and in the second part, we have to give our opinion on sustainable food production systems which address food and nutritional security in India. So let's start. So there are various ways you can introduce this answer. Introduction, you can give introduction to the answer. So I am giving you a fair bit of idea that either you can start with quote. There are various quotes by Ashok Dalwai and others. Ashok Dalwai. There are various quotes by various kind of leaders. There are quotes from Lal Bahadur Shastri. So all those things can be used in introduction. This is one way you can introduce. The other way to, and I think the best way to introduce in this question is to kind of give an overview of Indian food production in just one line. That Indian food production systems have changed from a kind of scarcity, problem of food shortages, so problem of abundance, not a problem, to abundance, scarcity to abundance, from 50 million ton to around 350 million ton. Okay, so you can kind of this is what you can kind of introduce from kind of import of food to self-sufficient in food production. So these are the things which you can kind of, using these keywords, you can kind of introduce your answer. So this is your homework. I am mentioning this as homework, that I have given you a fair amount of idea what ways you can introduce, and you have to kind of write a introduction in the comment section itself in 1-2 lines, so that I can see how are you approaching your introduction. So this is your homework. Now let's move to the body of the question. So in the first part of the question, we have to discuss the trends of food productivity in India. So let's discuss it. Trends of food productivity in India. So when you see Indian food production, you have seen that it is changing kind of with time. So from and I think you can write this kind of part of the answer in kind of subheadings, and that subheadings should be different timelines. Okay, that is, you can mention timelines at pre-green revolution, then came the pre-green revolution or at independence, then came the time of green revolution, then came post green revolution, then we have now recent trends. You can even kind of uh, you can even mention the I guess you can even mention the dates here. Sorry. The pre-green revolution, that is at independence, that is around 1950s. Then there came the green revolution phase, that is 1960s to 80s. Then came post-green revolution, that is, you can mention it, 1990s to 2010. Then the present trend is after 2010. So we'll discuss all the trends. So pre-green revolution, that is at independence, we all know that we had huge scarcity of grains. Okay, we need to import grains. The production was, I think, around less than 50 million tons overall production, and it was kind of very difficult for our population to sustain. There was huge disparity in production. Some areas were well good, but other areas it was kind of facing starvation only. So this is at independence. Then came the green revolution phase, which I kind of changed things for India. In green revolution phase, you can see that rice and wheat dominated. Rice and wheat dominated, and at least we were able to solve the problem of hunger. Okay, the production increased hugely. The production became more than 200 million tons and kept on rising from 200 to 20 to 50. It kept on rising, and kind of we were now self-sufficient at least in food grains. Although some disparities were there, but we will see in post-green revolution self-sufficient in food grains. Then come the post-green revolution is, so here the I think we have seen the advantages of green revolution in this page, but in post-green revolution we started seeing the disadvantages of green revolution also. Although the rice and wheat were dominating, but other crops such as pulses, millets, wild seeds were kind of out of the race only. Their productivity became very less. Okay, disparity of green revolution can be seen. States such as Punjab, Haryana, Western UP were growing very rapidly in agriculture, but other states such as Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, okay, all these were suffering hugely, okay, because there was huge disparity. These states were having very low production as compared to the other green revolution dominated states such as Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, which were producing a lot of. Another thing you must mention that pulses, millets, wild seeds, they were hugely suffering. Even we kind of started importing pulses, import of pulses is started. So all these problems you can mention in post green revolution. Then we have the present trend, which is right now. Okay, I'm taking the next page for the present trend, the recent trend. So recently we can see that yes, our food grain production has increased to more than 330 million ton. It's around 350 million ton around now. It is going to reach 315 million ton. Then you can see that the productivity growth was also seen, not only in, although rice and wheat were the major crops which are growing heavily at all the times, but here you can see that the crops such as horticulture, millets, fisheries, livestock also started growing slowly. We had various kind of missions. We have mission on horticulture, we have millet mission, we have various kind of programs, we have food processing programs were there. So all these things led to kind of the bad effects of green revolution were kind of started to, although they were there, but it started to reduce. We also focused on sustainable agriculture, that is we focused on agroforestry, we focused on zero budget natural farming, organic farming started to grow. Even states such as Sikkim, Mizoram, all these becomes organic states. So kind of these all things can be mentioned in the recent trend. This is the production, and this is what you can mention. The horticultural productivity increased very high. Okay, so all these things can be mentioned here in this part of the question. So I hope you understand the first part of the question, that is trends of food productivity in India. Now you can move to the second part. In second part, we have to give opinion on sustainable food production system which can address food and nutritional security in India. So how can you approach this part of the answer? Opinion on sustainable food production systems. So I think the best way to approach this answer is to give certain kinds of sustainable production and then give your opinion. For example, you can give first point, you can mention about diversification of agriculture, diversification. So why diversification? What impact diversification has on agriculture, has on our nutrition? You can kind of give opinion here. If you kind of diversify towards millets, diversify towards pulses, all these things are good for our kind of health. They are rich in macronutrients, they are rich in proteins, fibers. Even millet is less gluten as compared to maize, so gluten reduced. So all these things can be mentioned. So likewise you can also mention about agroforestry. There are various agroforestry systems which are sustainable and where livestock is also incorporated. So through livestock we get various kind of milk, we get eggs, we get meat. Okay, so all these are kind of protein rich, which are good for our nutrition. Egg is very good, milk is very good, even milk is called complete food. So livestock can be, fisheries was incorporated, horticulture was incorporated. So we all know through horticulture we can get huge amount of macronutrients, fruits content a lot amount of vitamins, minerals, all these things. So you can give your opinion on agroforestry like this. Similarly, you can give out organic agriculture. Okay, organic agriculture you can mention such as, for example, we have, you can also add here zero budget natural farming, organic farming, all these things. You can give your opinion that there are various organic systems which are very kind of healthy for us. For example, you can give example of kala namak rice. This is kind of highly grown in organic agriculture. Okay, you can give example of brown rice. It is also grown organically. A lot of brown rice is grown organically, which is kind of high in nutrition, high in fibers. So like this, you can give your kind of opinion here. You can also add other systems. Okay, you can also add government policies which are trying to promote home gardens, or you can say kitchen gardens. Okay, all these things are there. We are focusing on biofortification. We are focusing on climate resilient agriculture. Okay, so these are the keywords which you can mention in this part of the answer, and I think that is on you how you kind of structure your answer. So I think from for till now you have a good idea on all these things, and I think you will be able to write a good 7-8 points using these keywords. So this was the part 2 of the question, and in conclusion you can obviously mention that yes, we need to focus on sustainable systems which are also nutrition rich, because our country has kind of fought hunger, but still we are facing hidden hunger. So we need to fight hidden hunger now, and for that sustainable agriculture system which good nutritional capabilities are the need. So this is how you can kind of structure your answer, and you can mention conclusion. So that is all for today. If you like it, please press the like button. Please do share and please do subscribe. It takes a lot of hard work to make such videos for you on regular basis. And if you like, if you share, if you subscribe, it motivates us to make more such videos for you regularly. So that is all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.